You won't believe what just went down behind the scenes of Disney's Snow White. Gal Gadot, yes, Wonder Woman herself, has finally confronted Rachel Zegler over what many are calling one of Disney's biggest box office flops in recent years. But this isn't just about ticket sales, oh no. We're talking Instagram snubs, political tension, PR disasters, and a fairy tale gone totally sideways. So grab your popcorn because this story is wild. In today's video, we're breaking down what really went wrong with Snow White, how Gal and Rachel's relationship spiraled off camera, and why Gal's recent comments have everyone talking. In 2021, Disney officially announced its casting for Snow White. Rachel Zegler, a young breakout star from Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, would play the title role. Her casting was met with both excitement and controversy. On the other side of the casting call, Gal Gadot, the international superstar known for Wonder Woman, would step in as the evil queen. The pairing had potential. A fresh-faced rising star alongside a box office veteran. Disney hoped to replicate the success of Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast. But as production began, cracks quickly started to form behind the scenes. Fast forward to March 2025, the film is released. And it bombs. Snow White opens well below expectations, pulling in just a fraction of its production budget during its first weekend. Online reviews are divided, and critics cite a confused tone, underdeveloped characters, and lack of chemistry between the leads. Audiences weren't convinced, and more importantly, they weren't interested. For a brand like Disney, known for billion-dollar live-action adaptations, this was more than a disappointment. It was an embarrassment. Just a few days after the film's release, Rachel Zegler posts a lengthy Instagram caption. She thanks the cast, the crew, her fans, and reflects on her 4-year journey with the film. But one glaring omission stood out immediately to fans: there is no mention of Gal Gadot. No photo, no tag, no words of appreciation. To put that into perspective, Gal plays the evil queen, arguably the second most important character in the entire film. She's featured on posters. She appeared in all major press materials. Yet in Rachel's nostalgic and reflective post, she's absent. This triggered a wave of speculation. Was this a petty snub, a forgotten detail, or something deeper? Gal Gadot, typically composed and professional in interviews, responded days later in a promotional segment for another film. When asked about her experience on Snow White, she said, quote, "I believe respect goes both ways. Everyone on set should feel acknowledged. That's what makes a team." While Gal didn't name names, the message was unmistakable. Fans and media outlets interpreted the comment as a subtle yet clear response to Rachel's public exclusion. And it wasn't the last sign of tension between the two actresses. The rift between Rachel and Gal may not just be personal, it could be political. Gal Gadot is Israeli. She has served in the Israel Defense Forces and has long expressed support for her country. Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, has been publicly critical of Israel's policies and voiced strong support for Palestine, including during filming. In one controversial tweet during production, Rachel expressed solidarity with Palestinians amid a high-profile global conflict. According to insider reports, this moment significantly strained the relationship between the two actresses. Though Disney never commented on the matter, sources say it created a tense environment on set. While both women remained professional in front of the cameras, their interactions behind the scenes became increasingly strained. Beyond politics, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot lead very different lives. Gal is a seasoned actress, married, and a mother of 4. She is known for her discipline, calm demeanor, and carefully curated public persona. Rachel, at 23, is still at the beginning of her career. Outspoken and spontaneous, she has clashed with online communities and critics on more than one occasion. These differences may have made collaboration difficult. According to one crew member, it felt like they respected each other's talent but had no connection personally. At the Snow White premiere, they posed for photos side by side, but body language analysts pointed out the clear discomfort, stiff posture, forced smiles, minimal interaction. As public speculation intensified, Rachel began addressing the backlash, not directly, but through broader commentary. In several interviews, she emphasized the need to stop pitting women against each other and to celebrate female solidarity in Hollywood. While her message was admirable, it once again avoided any direct mention of Gal. This only fueled further speculation. Was Rachel trying to appear above the drama, or sidestepping accountability for something fans saw as a clear slight? Meanwhile, Disney began pulling back. The film's press tour, which should have included global events and extensive junkets, was dramatically scaled down. There was no international premiere. Interviews were limited. Promotional appearances were selective. Insiders claimed the studio was concerned that the tension between the leads would overshadow the film. Rather than feed the narrative, they opted to keep things minimal, a decision that some now believe contributed to the film's weak performance. Another contributing factor to the film's fallout was the backlash around Rachel's casting as Snow White. The character, as originally described in the Grimm brothers' tale and Disney's 1937 animated film, is said to have skin as white as snow. Rachel, who is Latina, does not match that traditional visual. This sparked heated debate. Conservative pundits accused Disney of being too woke. Online critics questioned why classic characters were being rewritten. Others applauded the move as a step toward much-needed representation. Rachel defended the role passionately, stating that talent, not skin tone, should determine casting. She pointed out the importance of showing diverse faces in fairy tales and emphasized the significance this role held for young viewers who rarely see themselves as princesses on screen. Most recently, Gal Gadot appeared in an international press interview, where she was asked a final question about Snow White. Her response was pointed and deliberate. You can't build a successful film without unity.
Gal Gadot is apparently annoyed by the Snow White drama. A source told People that she enjoyed filming, she was fine with Rachel, but they are not friends, they have nothing in common, they did a job together and that's it. With another source adding, their political views differ, adding to the tension. Israeli-born Gadot served in the IDF and has been vocal about the release of Israeli hostages, while Zegler has voiced her support for Palestine. However, the pair have made appearances together to promote the film at events like the Oscars. The movie has encountered multiple controversies in the lead-up to its release, including racist backlash after Zegler, who is of Colombian descent, was cast as Snow White, but early reviews are already dubbing it one of the best remakes yet.
When there's division among the cast, audiences can feel that. They sense what's real. Though she never referred to Rachel by name, the comment was widely understood to be a final remark on the troubled production and fractured working relationship. It was Gal's way of drawing a line under the drama, respectfully but clearly. What happened between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler isn't just about one film, or two actresses who didn't get along. It reflects a much larger identity crisis unfolding in Hollywood. Studios like Disney are under pressure to modernize, to reflect evolving values around inclusion, representation, and storytelling. But in the rush to reshape the narrative, some projects are suffering from misalignment behind the scenes. Snow White was supposed to be a cultural milestone. Instead, it became a case study in what happens when ambition meets inconsistency. The lesson here? Star power alone can't save a film. Audiences today are more tuned in than ever. They see past marketing. They notice friction. They respond to authenticity, whether it's supportive collaboration or visible disconnection. At the end of the day, Snow White was more than just a film. It was a microcosm of Hollywood's ongoing struggles, with identity, with generational divides, with public perception and internal politics. The fallout between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler is not simply a celebrity spat. It's a symbol of a rapidly changing industry, one where values, branding, and creative control are in constant conflict. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.